Okay, here's your furnace. Type top sight glass so you can see if it's flame, if it's starting. Bottom sight glass is where you would be able to see the red flashing. It'd be red, sometimes green and red. Just depends. Take the screws out of the door to pop this off. So I have to take the bottom door off. Sometimes they're 5/16 screws, sometimes they're not. Both doors might come flying off. Sorry, I'm just taking the screws off real quick. As you can see, here's my on and off switch. It's by my filter. Have notoriously put in a new filter and actually turn that off when I'm doing that and don't realize it. So there's your board. That's where you see the flashing lights. I had to take this off to get this guy off. There's a switch here. Usually it's better just to put this bottom door back on. But we won't right now. Alright, so I already went up to the thermostat. Put it all the way up to heat so I know it's calling. I shut the switch off. I'm going to kick the switch on. This here is your draft inducer. This is going to kick on first. This is to expel the exhaust, and it leads to pressure switches. These have to make, and it will say that, hey, the exhaust is getting out. Once it does that, then you're going to have a little glowy thing kick on. For me, it's right here. It's going to get hot. Once it gets to a certain hotness, this is your gas valve. It's going to click on, which then it should kick on your burners. Once your burners kick on, you got a little flame sensor right over here. It's in the flame. It will send back a resistance back to your board. Sometimes those get carbon built up on them, and it just restricts the resistance, so it will think, hey, I don't have flame. And your furnace will, what it will do is all this will kick on, it'll run, and shut off. And then I'll try the sequence again, run, shut off. Does it 3 times, locks out. After it passes that, then it's gonna heat up, it's your heat exchanger, which then you have an over limit here. Once that is satisfied, boom, kicks everything on your motor. So I'll run it through the cycle. Here you go. So click. Let's see how long it takes. Sometimes your thermostat can have batteries in it. If your batteries die, your thermostat may not send a signal to your board, or yeah, to the board. And of course, it's telling me to wait, but timers suck too. So if you're an impatient person, there you go. So draft inducer kicked on. It's gonna make these switches. Hopefully, once it passes that, it would turn off right now if they did not make. So now you wait for the next click. There it is. That thing starts to bright up. Now it's going to go to your gas valve. Next click. Click. Got flame. Okay, now right now, sensing flame. If it doesn't sense flame, this is where it will shut off and it'll try again. So now what it's doing is it's heating up your heat exchanger, and once it hits a certain temperature, your blower motor down here will kick on. That is the startup sequence. If any one of those fail, it will stop at that point. I hope that helps. Alright, there we go. My motor came on, so we're good. Alright.